Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. Glad to have you with us for our swearing-in ceremony for our newly elected officials for 2015. I thought we'd never calm down and get to this point. But hopefully all the hugs and kisses are done, at least for this moment. I want to take that opportunity to introduce our state and county officials, and it's the county legislature's manual that indicates that we limit it to the federal, state, and county level officials. So please don't take offense if you're at the town or village level. And I want to start with our judges. First, right at the top of the list, our Putnam County Court Judge, the Honorable James F. Reitz. Now, I promised Judge Sweeney that I would read this whole thing, because he's got a title that goes on and on and on. I believe it's a civil service title, actually. That's probably why it's like that. Associate Justice of the Appellate Division, New York State Supreme Court First Deputy, and Senior Resident Justice of Putnam County, the Honorable John W. Sweeney, Jr. Thank you, Judge. Now, Supreme Court Justice the Honorable Louis Lubell was here. I believe he had another commitment and has left, but we appreciate the fact that he was here. Want to move on to our two elected state assembly folks. We have the New York State Assemblywoman from the 95th District, the Honorable Sandra R. Gala. She's my assemblywoman. And New York State Assemblyman from the 94th District, the Honorable Stephen M. Katz. I'm proud to say we have our Putnam County Executive, the Honorable Mary Ellen O'Dell. We have our Putnam County Sheriff, the Honorable Donald B. Smith. We have our Putnam County District Attorney, the Honorable Adam B. Levy. Maybe for one of the last times, we'll be introducing the current Putnam County Clerk, the Honorable Dennis J. Sand. I think I get one more shot at that. Now we have our Putnam County Coroner, Michael Neshwat, but I believe that unfortunately he was not able to be here, but he will be starting a new term beginning in January as well. We have a number of our county legislators with us. From District 1 Legislator, the Honorable Barbara Scucciamaro. We have from District 4, Legislative Deputy Chair, the Honorable Ginny Nasserino. From District 5, we have our Legislative Chair, the Honorable Carl Albano. From District number 6, we have Legislator, the Honorable Roger Gross. District 7 Legislator, the Honorable Joseph Castellano. Our District 8 Legislator, the Honorable Deanie LeBeau. And District number 9 Legislator, the Honorable Kevin Wright. Did I leave anybody out? Hopefully not. I was asked that I shouldn't just, parade through this, that I should have a little intermission here and tell a short story. So you may or may not want to hear this, but you're going to hear it anyway. There's a number of people that would get together, the three professionals that would get together typically once a week for lunch. And it was a physician, a scientist, and a lawyer. You can probably tell where this is headed. So they get together on a regular basis. And this one particular day they got together for lunch, they were trying to decide which of their professions was the oldest profession. So the physician jumped in first and said, it's clearly physician. Because if you think back to the Garden of Eden, God removed a rib from Adam and created Eve. So obviously he was a surgeon, and that was a very long time ago. At which point the scientist says, well, that may be true, and that was a long time ago, but even before that, God created the world out of chaos. So he had to be a scientist. At which point the lawyer looked at the other two and said, who do you think created the chaos? Okay, maybe no more stars. We will now get into the formal part of our ceremony this evening. And at this point, I'd like to ask Father Anthony Sorgi to give our invocation from St. James the Apostle Church.
Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. I want to say a prayer, but begin with a few words from the Scriptures and from the Acts in particular. When the time came for Pentecost, all of them were gathered in one place, and suddenly there came from the sky a noise like a strong wind, and it filled the entire house in which they were. And there appeared over them tongues as of fire, which parted and rested on each one of them. And they were filled with the Spirit of God and began to speak in different tongues as that Spirit enabled them to proclaim. Let us pray. God, you made us in your own image. You redeemed us. Look with compassion on our human family and on all of those gathered here as we await a new year. Take away any arrogance and hatred which infect hearts, break down walls that separate us, and unite us in bonds of love, and work through our struggle and confusion to accomplish your purpose on earth, that in your good time all peoples of goodwill can serve you in harmony around your throne. Eternal God, in whose perfect kingdom no sword is drawn, but the sword of righteousness, no strength known, but that strength of love. So mightily spread abroad that Spirit, that all peoples may be gathered under the banner of the Prince of Peace, as children of one God, to whom be dominion and glory now and forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Father. It's now my honor and privilege to introduce our Putnam County Sheriff, the Honorable Donald B. Smith, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I'd like to start by saying Happy New Year to everyone and to congratulate all our office holders who take their oath of office tonight. This ceremony represents the democracy that we have at all levels of our government. This flag, the symbol of the United States of America, is something that we hold very dear. And as we end one year and start a new year, this flag is especially dear to us tonight. 238 years this flag has represented the United States of America, the beacon of freedom, hope, and justice throughout the entire world. It's the flag our armed forces serves under. It's the flag our fire departments, our ambulance corps, our law enforcement, and all those who keep us safe right here at home serve under. And in Putnam County, we never pledge allegiance to the flag in a rote banner. So tonight, as we end one year and start anew, let's truly listen to the words of that beacon of freedom, hope, and justice of the entire world, the United States of America. Please join me as we pledge allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless you all in the new year, and may God continue to bless the United States of America, and may we bless God in the new year. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Don. Nobody does that better. I'd now like to have the Honorable Adam Levy, our Putnam County District Attorney, come forward and to present some welcoming remarks.
Family, friends, and proud residents of Putnam, welcome. As Putnam County District Attorney, it is my honor to say a few words and share a few thoughts as we prepare to swear in our newly elected local and state officials. Consider how fortunate we are to live in a county that enjoys one of the highest bond ratings, the second or third lowest unemployment rate, and the lowest violent crime rate in the entire state of New York. Now, folks, this doesn't happen by accident. In Putnam County, we are fiscally responsible because we pay our bills. In Putnam, our residents work hard, and parents teach their children the importance of a strong work ethic and the meaning of self-reliance. And as a result, in Putnam, we live in a community with people who respect the law and obey it. It's not easy, it takes work, and it takes the cooperation between the public and the private sectors. But by working together, we have and we will continue to accomplish amazing things. The residents of Putnam have placed their trust in us, the elected officials, to act in their best interests, not our own. The residents of Putnam County have placed their trust in us to put aside petty politics and selfish political motivations and ambitions, to preserve, to maintain, and to improve their quality of life. As you all take your oaths today, please think of these things, as I do every day. Congratulations, a happy and a healthy new year to you all. Thank you.
Okay, now to the good part. We'll have our oaths, and we're going to start with our assembly persons. And the New York State Assemblywoman of the 95th District, the Honorable Sandra Galiff, will be sworn in by the Town of Southeast Councilwoman, the Honorable Lynn Eckhart.
I just want to say a quick word. This is always one of the nicest days of the year, I think, politically, because it is non-political or apolitical. It tends to be nonpartisan. It's a really wonderful time of year. I remember when I was sworn in, and it was one of the most exceptional days of my life, and for other people as well. Obviously, Democrats did not have a wonderful year, so it was such a high point for me when Sandy was reelected. And when she called to ask me to swear her in, I can't tell you how touched I was. She's truly a public servant. She just couldn't be a better person in the job. And as I like to say, when I grow up, I'd like to be Sandy Galiff. So, without further ado. Okay, put your right hand. I, Sandra R. Galiff,
I, Sandra R. Galiff,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
of member of the New York State Assembly
of member of the New York State Assembly
according to my best ability.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I just want to thank everyone for, first of all, being here, for people that are involved in the whole elective process. We thank you. For those of us who've had your support at the polls, we want to thank you especially so that we can continue, or as Steve Katz will be continuing as my colleague in the Assembly, and Terry and Sue being new people that I'm going to be working with in the State Senate. I look forward to that. And of course, Mariella O'Dell as County Executive and all the rest of you. And especially Bill Goodman, because we've had our races. And it's so great for him to now be in the county position. So I'm looking forward to a new term in Albany. We're going to start on Wednesday with a State of the State message from the governor, and start the whole process. And it's really such a great time this year. If I look back on 4 years ago, when the economy wasn't so good, we were having to do things that we didn't want to do in Albany that made us very sad to be leaving there and knowing that we cut so many programs, we had no money, deficit of $10 billion. And now as we go forward, it's great. Our Attorney General has gotten us $5 billion from going after some of these bank settlements. So that is going to help us a lot, and hopefully we'll use that money very wisely for a lot of the infrastructure that we need, the bridges and the roads, the one-shot kinds of very expensive items that we have. So hopefully we'll be able to deal with that. But we also have approximately $2 billion deficit because we've been able to really recreate state government in many ways and keep within the tax cap, just as you are in the county, trying to do things differently. And so we've created a lot of good savings. At the same time, over these 4 years, we've increased our private sector jobs about 500,000, which is great for people because that's what we want to do, is job creation. So all I can say is I'm going back to Albany with a lot of good, knowing that it's going to be a really, really good year. We've gotten the issue of fracking out of the way. We have casinos maybe coming if you want them or you don't want them, but they're on their way. We have some good projects here, the Hudson Highland Fjord, which is a great project for Putnam County, which got another, actually there was a lot of money that came through the state this year for economic development for Putnam County. Green Chimneys, a lot of other programs. So I just think it's going to be a great year. We're going to talk a lot about education. Do we have more charter schools? Do we have field tests? Do we have Common Core? It's really going to be a lot of discussion, and I would hope that all of you are there to help us, to guide us, to give us your input on all of these issues that are so important to New Yorkers, because without you, we would not be the type of officials that we really want to be. We want to represent you. You need to speak with us. We want to help you. When the needs are there, you've got contact with state government, we are there to help you. So I just want to thank you very much for including me this evening, and I look forward to another wonderful 2 years in Albany with your guidance along the way. Thank you very much.
I had mentioned that Sandy is my Assemblywoman, and I will tell you she is a very accessible person and is always there and always responds, and we appreciate that greatly. Now it's my pleasure and honor to introduce our New York State Assemblyman from the 94th District, the Honorable Dr. Stephen M. Katz, who will be sworn in by Putnam County Court Judge, the Honorable James F. Reeves. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've had the good fortune to know Dr. Katz for some time when he first got elected, and he's been involved in many activities and functions in Putnam County. He's a strong advocate for the Second Amendment, as you know. He's a proud supporter. He stands up and tells it like it is. Also, I want to point out to Barbara, my wife, who has been running the youth court program for 27 years. Dr. Katz also has been a great supporter of that program. And it is my honor to now administer the oath. Oh, can I have my grandson come up here for a second? Sure. Can I have that? Thank you, Jason. All right. Hey, from the great state of Texas, our grandson.
All right.
Hi, Stephen M. Katz.
You solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of New York State Assembly
of the office of New York State Assembly
for the 94th District
for the 94th District
in and for the County of Putnam,
and for the County of Putnam,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Well, I'll be brief. First of all, I just want to thank all of you for showing confidence enough to re-elect me. I came in as someone who came to do his civic duty by representing you. And as this is the last term that I'll be serving, I'm going to go out in the same way, doing the very best that I can do to serve you. I will have served 6 years as a citizen legislator. I can tell you that probably there's nothing more important in ridding us of the corruption that is rampant up in Albany than term limits. There are some others too, but trust me, term limits can't be more important. I am term limiting myself out. I challenge the rest of my colleagues to do the same. Okay. Other than that, I just want to thank you all. I promise I will do the best I can. And from me, you will get nothing but the unvarnished truth about what I see, at least, going on up in Albany. Thank you very much.
Now, our county executive, Mary Ellen Odell, chose to have a small swearing-in ceremony earlier this afternoon. Oh, excuse me. I think I rushed ahead.
Gotta go back to page 12.
I moved it. Somebody was up here and moved it. Where's my page 9?
Exactly. First and hero eliminator.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenny. Thanks, number 5. Actually, now it's our opportunity to have the Honorable Terrence P. Murphy sworn in as our New York State Senator from the 40th District, again by the Honorable James F. Reed.
Thank you, Paul. I think you were supposed to do that.
You said you needed more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, since becoming county court judge in 2007, I had the good fortune to work with the treatment court and helping the people of Putnam County. Treatment court is an alternative to those afflicted by addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, and mental health issues. And I've had the good fortune to work with Mary Ellen Odell and her people in the legislature. And she talks many times of social and fiscal responsibilities in helping the people we serve. As you know, treatment court is an alternative, and holding people accountable, but staying out of jail, changing one's lives. This particular year coming up is going to be, for one phrase or another, the war on addiction. And the team that has been assembled from the county and throughout is what Mary Ellen has been working on. And the 2 senators coming in today have given and committed their word to helping Putnam County and the people of Putnam. So we cannot, as you know, do this alone. We need a total team effort. And with that, Senator-elect Murphy and Senator-elect Serino have agreed to help us out any way they can. Is that correct, sir?
Most certainly.
All right. Then what do we-
Absolutely.
And we're not waiting any further. If you can, take this. It is my honor now to administer this oath. Okay. Raise your right hand. You repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Terrence Murphy,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of New York State Senator
of the office of New York State Senator
for the 40th District
for the 40th District
in and for the County of Putnam,
in and for the County of Putnam,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Well, first of all, Happy New Year to everybody. This is an incredible honor and a privilege to be standing here to be your representative. And I have no agenda except what the judge just said. We are going to fight the war on this heroin epidemic in Dutchess County, in Putnam County, in Westchester County, and now it's in Rockland County. They have the dubious honor of being high drug intensity.
High intensity drug trafficking.
Thank you very much. But it's one of those things that you cannot fight alone. And every family, no one's immune to this. This is something that needs to be addressed. This is something that I plan on doing everything in my ability with New York State and with your county executive right here to fight this war on the drug epidemic that's going on in the Hudson Valley region. I can't thank you enough for you guys trusting in me to represent you. So one thing I promise you is my hard work, and I'll always have an open door. I was born and raised, and there's always room for one more, and having an open door policy, that's the way my office will be. 24/7, 365, whatever I can do to help out the people of Putnam County, don't even hesitate to ring or knock on my door. Thank you, and God bless.
Well done. Now we'll have the swearing in of the Honorable Susan J. Serino, New York State Senator from the 41st District, again by Judge Reese.
Oh, good, yes. Please, how are you, sir? Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, these two senators that have been elected have a common interest and a common mission here for Putnam County, and that's the war on addiction and working together to help change people's lives. Senator-elect Serino is no exception. And I've gotten to know her over the years, and I have to tell you, she takes this, as Senator Murphy does, personally. It has affected each and every one of us, addiction in some way, somehow, whether it's mental health, drugs, or alcohol. And I have to tell you, these two take it personal. They are part of this team, and I am proud to administer the oath to you now as well. Thank you. Oh, good. If you can, that's okay. You raise your right hand and repeat. I state your name.
I, Susan Serino,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of New York State Senator
of the office of New York State Senator
for the 41st District
for the 41st District
and for the County of Putnam,
and for the County of Putnam,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. I am so honored and humbled to be here today and to represent all of you in Putnam County. As you know, I had gotten involved in the race a little late, so it means so much to me because so many of you really didn't get a chance to get to know me. And I'm so happy that I'm going to have the chance to prove what we'll be able to do together. I look forward to working with my friend and colleague, Senator Murphy, in the State Senate, and to our County Executive, Mary Ellen O'Dell. She's been so helpful, and your friendship means so much to me. And thank you to Judge Reeds, too, for delivering the oath of office today, and also for your commitment on the war on heroin. It is so important, and we all know people that have personally been involved in this and had, very bad things going on right now. We really need to work together as a team, which I know we are all going to do. And I would also be remiss if I did not.
She means what she said.
And I would be remiss if I did not thank Governor and Libby Pataki. The Patakis care so deeply about Putnam County, and their support, kindness, and shared wisdom meant so much to me personally. And of course, I thank my husband Mark and my son Anthony. In fact, at the beginning of the race, he asked me when he was going to see me, and I said November 5th. And we had a gathering the other night, and it was true. People asked him, how the race went. He said, the only way I knew where my wife was if I followed her on Facebook. Last and certainly not least, I thank the people of Putnam County so much. You have helped send a very clear message that we need strong, independent leaders in Albany that put people ahead of politics. And that's what I've always done, and I will continue to do. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Sue. Is it your turn?
Yeah.
Just prior to coming up, I wanted to just mention that Mary Ellen had an opportunity to have a small swearing-in ceremony in her office earlier today, so that her mom in particular could be there and hold the Bible for her. I was proud to be there and to witness that. And before you come up, Mary Ellen, I was going to ask Judge Reeds to come up first. If he would like to say a few.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it is rather personal and very meaningful to be here today for so many people. And I had the good fortune and privilege to administer the oath to Mary Ellen around 4 o'clock today. Her mom's not doing well. Now, it's difficult for her, but she needed to get there to witness this. Her parents are very proud. And I happen to know her parents for as long as I can remember. We grew up together. Mary Ellen, her family, myself, and we've gone through a lot. And I can say that it is, Mary Ellen, a privilege to work with you and to have administered your oath to office in front of your family, most importantly your mom and your dad. I remember how tough it was when you were growing up. And I do remember all the good times and the tough times and what they did and how they led and how they took care of their family. And right now, Mary Ellen and their entire family is taking care of their mom because she's not doing well. And it was just a beautiful thing to be part of and a time now to share with you. I want you to know that is personal. Several years ago, Mary Ellen had the good fortune to stand in this courtroom with me and attend a treatment court graduation. She was also, she heard the courts cutting back. And Assemblywoman Gallup, you had indicated in Albany it was sad when you had to cut services and programs and people's jobs in the worst of economic times we know. And I want to tell you what a leader Mary Ellen and the people here in Putnam County, the legislative people, were able to do in the worst of economic times. The court cut back. They said, no, you're not going to have treatment court like you know. Cut it down to 25 or so people. Mary Ellen heard that, and she said, we can't have it. She called me the next day, what can we do? Within the year, a full-time position was created, and currently there's a permanent position in Putnam County for a coordinator here because of Mary Ellen's efforts and her direction and leadership with the support of the entire legislature. And that's amazing. In the worst of economic times, when other places, Albany, other places may have been cutting, Putnam County had vision and leadership, and you were able to accomplish something that most could not. And I thank you for that, for the people we serve here in Putnam County. So, Mary Ellen, it was my privilege to administer the oath. It's now my privilege to introduce you here tonight. Thank you.
Your Honor, good friend, dear friend, part of the family, the Hicks family. I have so much in my heart right now, so much gratitude and so much respect for everyone that I've had the privilege to serve with over the last, 8 years actually, since I first took the oath of office in this room in 2006 as a legislator. And Paul, I just want to say, I thought you were going to tell my 4 monkeys story. It would have been much, much better, but we'll save that for the state of the county. Yeah, it's a much better story. And Glenn, you can be Sandy Galiff when you grow up. You just have to move to another district. That's all. To Sheriff, thank you so much for your Pledge of Allegiance, and to our District Attorney for your words. And the word that I heard is proud and pride. And that is exactly how I feel right now, having the opportunity to be the county executive of a county that's so patriotic and is so proud of everything that we stand for every single day. And I do have some notes, and as usual, I put my staff through the rigors of preparing, taking my thoughts and preparing them, and then I just get up here and I just wing it. And so I think I'm going to do a little bit of both right now. So my family was with me at 4 o'clock. I am blessed. I have a wonderful, beautiful, loving, caring, supportive, disciplined family, and it really was a beautiful ceremony. And I look around the room, and so many of you really are and have been family to me in so many ways. And a special shout out to the Murphy family. And I know, Terrence said, Jack is proud right now, very, very proud. I certainly want to thank Diane Schoenfeld and her team for putting on such a beautiful, wonderful. As I said, I served as a legislator, and I know how professional and hardworking that the legislative clerk and her staff do. And I think today we remember Chris Marone, too, who led many of us on the legislature on the right path in being professional. And certainly to our former county executive and our master of ceremonies, Paul Eldridge, for his beautiful job tonight. I was going to call you smooth, but after the lineup and the podium, I don't know. It makes me feel good though, Paul, because it makes you human actually, because Paul is such a superstar, and he really did such a great job for this county in those days when we needed that leadership in this county. And again, to Judge Reese, to Jimmy, to my friends. And to the people of Putnam County, I can't thank you enough for having the confidence in me 3 years ago and to delivering me that confidence again in November. And, certainly I am not one person. It's all about team. And the team that I assembled, I'm very, very proud of. The team that chose to stay with me and the team that chose to join us from the private and the public sector. If people understand now that a private-public partnership is really the most successful way to deliver services most efficiently, if we haven't shown that here in Putnam County, I would be very, very hard-pressed to have anyone else show how they could have done a better job than what we were able to deliver in the last 3 years. And I want to say thank you to the political leaders that have brought many of us here to have the honor and the privilege to serve as elected officials. To the GOP chair, Jim DeBella, thank you, Jim, for your service. Certainly, we all appreciate what you've been able to do for the Republican Party in the last few years. And of course, Anthony Scanapico, our new GOP, our old GOP, our past, our present, our future. And the chairman of the Conservative Party, Mr. Jim Maxwell. Thank you, Jim, for all your support. And to all the chairs of the Conservative Party and the Republican Party who served throughout in all the towns and villages. And to Dr. Giulio Cavallo for the Independence Party, for his support as well, for myself and many of us that are here today. I want to thank all the partners in county government, certainly the volunteers and all of you in the not-for-profits who joined me in our mission to deliver services as efficiently and to the higher standard that we could. I want to thank our veterans who have served this country so honorably, and of course we are so graced by their sacrifice, just an example in this room today. And our first responders, our career and our volunteer first responders. Certainly we know every day what they are faced with just in the tragedy of the last week. Their families watch them go out the door every day and never know if they're coming home. And I want to thank all of our first responders from the bottom of my heart, and certainly on behalf of the people of Putnam County. I'd like to thank our librarians. Our libraries are critical in this county, and it's been an honor to serve with the legislature in making sure that the library's doors stay open and accessible to everyone. They are so important to the fabric of this community. And to our seniors for making 2014 the year of the seniors such a great success. And to the Chamber of Commerce, our business leaders, those people who really put it all out there, who put their families on the line. I want to thank you very much for working with county government, particularly in our Putnam Moves initiative, where we know and we recognize that mobility and commerce are what keep the taxpayers and the taxes low in this community. And I want to really thank Jen Marr and Bill Knoll for their partnership. And to my administration, to the department heads again. We have a great team, and I'm very excited for all of us for the opportunities that we have ahead of us on the third floor. We have a lot of responsibilities. And as Judge Reed said, our administration focuses on fiscal and social responsibility. On every single issue we face, we ask ourselves, how do we do this? How do we do it better? And are we balancing our social and fiscal responsibilities? We're here because we work for the taxpayers, and we live during a time where government has to be open to new ideas and different ways of getting the job done. And I'm committed to keeping Putnam County strong and keeping our budget under the tax cap. And my administration focuses on finding solutions and collaborating with people who want to be educated on issues and people who want to be committed and who are actually invested in the issues. And of course, in Putnam County here, the fight for the Second Amendment, the fight for privacy and safety of our residents. I know that the clerk, Michael Bartolotti, Michael, where are you? Michael will continue the mission that our great county clerk, Dennis Sant, has laid forth in front of us all. We promise to protect and defend everyone here in Putnam County and the rights for the Second Amendment. And hopefully we're going to send that message not only in the Hudson Valley, but in the great state of New York and, of course, in our nation. We also have an opportunity right now on the One Army on the War of Addiction, as Judge Reed so eloquently spoke of. I'm looking forward to the partnership and the collaboration in the Senate and the Assembly and working together, because we all know, has been so noted, that addiction, substance abuse, is not only a social drain on all of us, but it's also a fiscal, it's also a very financial, deep burden for all of us taxpayers, and we owe it to each other. And to that, I just want to say to my colleagues on the legislature, we owe it to each other, to care for each other, to work together, to understand that we work for the taxpayers, and that every decision we make should never be a personal agenda. It should always be about, is it the right thing to do for the taxpayers? So I have to say that there's a great opportunity here in the next 4 years, not only for Putnam County, but in the Hudson Valley region. And when you talk about the $5 billion surplus, I want everyone to understand that's not the bank's money. That's our money. That's our money. And we have every right as taxpayers and constituents to have our voice heard in Albany on how that money is going to be spent. And we've learned our lesson about one-shot money here in Putnam County. We learned it the hard way. And I'm here to tell you as the county executive, I'm going to work with Albany to make sure that that money goes towards economic development, smart growth, transportation infrastructure that will bring jobs and strengthen the economy in this county so that we don't have to send our kids out of this county to get gainful employment, that we don't have to get up and leave this county every morning to have a career, that we can do it right here, That is our primary mission right here in Putnam County. That meets our social and fiscal responsibility. That is my commitment. And so I'd like to say, let's just get the job done and let's just work together. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you.
I taught her well, didn't I? It's now my pleasure to ask that the Honorable Michael Bartolotti come forward to be sworn in as Putnam County Clerk by the Honorable Gregory Fulchetti, Town of Southeast Town Justice.
Good evening. Happy New Year to everyone. And my warmest congratulations to all the elected officials who are taking their oaths of office today. A few weeks ago, when Michael asked me to administer his oath, of course accepted immediately. And I thought, how do I encapsulate 20 years of personal and professional relationship succinctly, eloquently, and in enough time to get everybody out for their New Year's Eve plans, which I'm very mindful of. So, in keeping with my own tradition, I'll just tell a story. And it's very brief. 19 years ago, I was a new admit practicing here in Putnam County and charged with a very unenviable task of obtaining about 200 easements for public work projects within the county, which of course required me to appear at the county clerk's office with alarming frequency to do business. So I obtained a good number of them, and my first trip up was an afternoon, and I went to the clerk's office, which was at that point on the west end of the first floor, and all the faces that became familiar to me, and I'm sure to so many of you over the years were there. Emily Gerlich was there, our wonderful outgoing clerk, and my good friend Dennis Stanton was there. The existing clerk, Joe Coloso, was there. But that day, none of them helped me. The person that helped me was a young man, and he looked over the stack of papers that I had, and he courteously and professionally pointed out countless defects in the papers and let me know the bad news that I was going home. And as I walked out with the papers that were not in recordable form, I said to myself, not a string of profanity inside, okay? I said, what just happened? And what happened was that I was given bad news about something I had done that would probably require me to redo a good portion of the work. And what stuck out in my mind was not that I had to redo it. What did stick out in my mind was that there was a young man in that office who gave me that news professionally, courteously, and respectfully. And I said to myself, he's just a kid. And he's a natural. He's really born for this. So we fast forward here, 19 years later. And in the interim time, Mike's professional accomplishments speak for themselves. Attending law school, being admitted to the bar, serving in wonderful capacity as Dennis's first deputy for 12 years. And what I think of is all the people, the professionals, the constituents, the taxpayers who walked into that office after I did that day. And I did go a million times after that. It ended up much better with my own project. But and I know that when they walked in there and they were assisted by Michael, that they walked out with the same feeling, that they were treated respectfully, courteously, and by a true professional. And there's nothing more that I think you can ask from an individual in that capacity. So the natural progression of Michael being a college student working in the clerk's office part-time to being the first deputy to being here today just seems to me to be within the order of things. And I'm honored and I'm humbled to be here today to administer his oath. So Michael, if you will. I, Michael C. Bartolotti.
I, Michael C. Bartolotti,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will discharge my duties
and that I will discharge my duties
as county clerk for the county of Putnam
as county clerk for the county of Putnam
to the best of my abilities.
to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, bro. 20 years ago when Emily handed me a box of correspondence and said, put this in alphabetical order and get it in the filing cabinet, that I would be standing here as a Putnam County clerk. So, first and foremost, I want to thank my lovely wife, Aisa, and my family for all their support. Thank all of you for coming here tonight to be here with us. I want to thank the people of Putnam County for putting their faith in me, to allowing them the pleasure of serving as their county clerk. I love that office. I love the office of county clerk. I love DMV. I love records. Some people, that's not their speed. That's not their deal. I love it. I love it. Give me an old deed book any day, and I'll tickle it. And I tell you, it is my honor and my pleasure to stand at that counter and to serve the customers that come in every day. It gets me to work in the morning. I love my job. I've had great tutelage over the years. Joe Peloso was just a great mentor when I first got there, and obviously I'd be remiss if I didn't let the boss know. Dennis, you still might, what, 5, 6 more hours? I hate yourself. Still my boss, all right, for a few more hours. But Dennis, just a phenomenal mentor. And I may have come through and gone to college and gone to law school and had all the nuts and bolts advice. But I tell you what, you can't find a finer public servant and a man of the people who will listen to everybody's problem when they walk through the door and do whatever they can to help. And Dennis Sant. I think he taught me very well, because I try to embody that with every task that I have to tackle in the clerk's office. And I can tell you the words that I just said when I took my oath, what I could pledge to you for every moment that I am your county clerk, that I will serve the best of my ability, so help me God. Happy New Year, thank you, and good night.
He loves to read old. I eat, so we need to talk. I can tell you, I've seen Michael sort of grow up, if you will, from various jobs throughout the county, but he started, by the way, Bruce, as an intern years ago. And you've come a long way, Mike, but I think all of us recognized early on the incredible capability that you had to become to the county. Congratulations. Now I'd like to ask the Honorable William J. Goldman to be sworn in as the Putnam County Legislator from District Number 2. And again, I will ask the Honorable James F. Reese to do so.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's clear something up if we can. Judge Lachetti, can I just share something with you? Not to burst your bubble. Had you not been related to the family, I was already asked. Where's my why don't you tell him what you told me a few minutes ago? And also, Mike, you remember 19 years ago, you had just graduated Putnam County Youth Court. I think that's where you learned most of that from, in terms of how to really become youth court. But thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill, how are you tonight? Please step up here if you would. This gentleman, I've known for years. And I believe this is his first elective office. No matter where you go, events, Bill is there, trying to help out, willing to listen and lend a hand. I've told him, be careful what you wish for. He's now in the arena. Some people have said, hey, Bill, you've got some big shoes to fill. I don't think he's going to have any problem. Take a look at him.
Thank you.
If you would, take that Bible. And raise your right hand. I, and please state your name.
I, William Goldman,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the laws of the County of Putnam,
the laws of the County of Putnam.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of legislator,
of the office of legislator,
District Number 2,
District Number 2,
in and for the County of Putnam,
and for the County of Putnam
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge Reese. I'm honored to be here. I want to thank the voters for giving me the opportunity to stand before you today. Today we celebrate freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a new beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. I have just taken the oath that our forefathers have taken in this historic building since the beginning of Putnam County. And I will take that oath very seriously. I look forward to working with the county executive and my colleagues in the legislature to do the people's business. And it's going to be a highlight of my life this year. Putnam County is a very small county. But because we're small doesn't mean we can't do large things. 2004 was a great year. 2005 will be a much better year. It is New Year's, so be careful out there tonight. I hope to see you all next year. God bless.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce the Honorable Tony E. Adonisio. Legislator from District Number 3, again by the Honorable John James. They changed it. They want to think it's some, maybe it's your twin brother.
His name is Tommy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've known Tony for a long time. Like Mary Ellen and so many people here, my wife Barbara, she's a graduate of Carmel High School, like myself. I know Barbara and Tony went to school together. And Michael as well, yes, Michael. And she's also, if you don't know, a Rotarian. And for years, she's always been in this community helping out. And Rotary is a symbol. What it stands for is service above self. Is it good for all concerned? Is it fair? Is it right? And that's what Tony is all about. And I have to tell you, I think we are in for one great year with all these elected officials being sworn in today. And it is my privilege and honor to administer the oath to Tony Adonisio now.
I, Tony Adonisio,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the laws of the County of Putnam,
and the laws of the County of Putnam.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of legislator
of the office of the legislature
for District Number 3
for District Number 3
in and for the County of Putnam,
in and for the County of Putnam,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Hello. It's an honor and a privilege to be here this evening. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone that helped me with my campaign, going door to door, driving me in the car, putting up signs for me, or just believing in me. It is truly appreciated. I want to thank my husband for always supporting me and believing in me and having faith in me. I want to thank my parents and children for their encouraging words. I want to thank Kent and Patterson residents for believing in me, voting for me. Is their next legislator. Pat Madigan for believing in me beyond measure. I would like to thank Jimmy Maxwell and the Conservative Party for their endorsement. I know there are many people depending on me to make the right decisions for Putnam County. And I want you to know that I take this oath of office very seriously. And I intend to use wisdom and good judgment in all my decisions. Proverbs 16:16 states, "Better to have wisdom than gold, and good judgment than silver." I'm looking forward to serving our county as your next legislature. Happy and healthy New Year to all. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce the Honorable Deanie LeBeau, our Putnam County legislator from District 8, who will be sworn in by the Honorable Thomas Jacobellis, Mayapack Town Justice.
Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. It's an honor and a privilege to be part of this ceremony here today as a town justice from the town of Carmel, from my hometown, which Deanie represents, in Carmel and Mayapack. Judge Reeds, I heard I might not have been the first choice to swear in you tonight. That it might have been you, but that they were concerned at this point in the program you might not be able to raise your right hand anymore. I'm here to fix it. No, but it's truly an honor and a privilege to be part of the ceremony here tonight, to swear in my friend Deanie LeBeau, who the voters from our district, due to her hard work and dedication, seen fit to return her to her third term. I, Deanie LeBeau,
I, Deanie LeBeau,
solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to solemnly discharge your duties
my duties
as Putnam County legislator
as Putnam County legislator
to the best of your ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
My sister's already crying. On New Year's Eve, we ring in the old and we welcome the new. So I look forward to working with my new colleagues on the legislature, Bill Goldman and Tony Antonizio. I want to recognize Republican Chairman Anthony Scannapieco. I want to recognize Conservative Chairman James Maxwell for their support with my challenging campaign that I went through. I most importantly want to thank the people for their unwavering support and for their constant appreciation for what I do. They tell me to continue to do what I'm doing, and that's what I intend to do in 2015. I am energized and looking forward to the new year, so thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do the job that I love, and God bless all of you, and Happy New Year.
Unfortunately, Dr. Neshawat could not be with us this evening, but Judge Reach has not been up here enough, so he wants to come up again and say a few words about Dr. Legislature.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Neshawat and I are pretty good friends, and I want to know a couple things. One, he had a rare opportunity to be with family out of the area, and I have to tell you, he wanted to be here. He really was upset about this, but I have to tell you, as you know, for all of us, family is priority. And they are together, and they're enjoying a real needed vacation. Now, he wants to thank each and every one of you. He said, you can say whatever you want, but make sure you make no mistake and don't forget the people that I serve, that Dr. Neshawat serves. He is humbled and respectful of the opportunity to serve as coroner, and he is also been a very strong advocate and a member of our treatment court team through Putnam Hospital and all his expertise. He's also a member of the board on this addiction. So, Mary Ellen, we thank you very much for your support, the legislature for their support, and most importantly, to the people of Putnam County. Thank you very much. It was a privilege to serve. We wanted me to share that with you. Thank you so much.
first not least, we'd like to have the Honorable John F. Borges come forward. He will be sworn in as our Putnam County Coroner by the Honorable Ann Garris Spofford, Carmel Town Clerk.
Good evening. Happy New Year to everyone. I've known John Borges for 10 years, as he is the husband of my deputy, Phyllis. I am honored and privileged to administer his oath of office, as he is a retired New York City detective, United States Army captain, and now an emergencies room registered nurse. It's my privilege. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, John Borges,
I, John Burgess,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge the duty of Putnam County Coroner
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Putnam County Coroner
in and for the County of Putnam to the best of my ability.
in and for the County of Putnam to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God. Since I'm last, this gives me the opportunity to say, be safe. Thank you for the ability to serve Putnam County. It'll be a privilege, and it's an honor. Thank you. Be safe going home.
Thank you, John. And I would like to ask the Honorable Dennis J. Sant, our Putnam County Clerk, to provide us with some closing remarks.
So Michael said, wow, huh? Wow. I got to tell you, I've never met a man who had such a teachable spirit and such a good heart as your next county clerk. And it saddens me to have to say goodbye, but it's been a wonderful trip. But I'd like to encourage the newly elected officials here, because that's what I am, an elected official. And the people of Putnam have spoken loud and clear. The oath that they took tonight, they will lead Putnam County government into the year 2015 and beyond. And let me share some thoughts. Please, let me assure you that government is not what's happening in Washington. It's happening here in Putnam County and on the local level. We are the backbone of this nation. I want to tell you, for those families who have moved to Putnam County, and for those who have decided to stay and raise a family, they place upon your shoulders all of their hopes and all of their dreams for the future. You are the men and women that are going to make this come true. They live in a safe haven. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, Adam. And we need to take care of our county. In the town of Southeast, we are the gateway to Putnam County. We've got a lot of work to do in getting up our infrastructure, the roads, as people come into our county. We need to make it look beautiful again. What a beautiful county. The Hudson River on the west and the Berkshires on the right. We have a lot to be thankful for. I want you to look to those that are sitting here tonight and those that have put you in office for your sense of right and wrong. And I want you to remember that these people that you're making decisions are affecting their lives for now and in the future. Be meek, not weak. Not only with the people that you represent, but with yourselves. Be slow to speak and quick to listen. Be kind and gentle and respectful with your remarks. Be strong and steadfast with your decision. It is an honor to be elected, but it's a greater honor to serve public service. Today we bestow upon you, the elected officials, the mantle of responsibility and unity. Not unity that you have to agree on every single thing, but unity that we move our county forward. And remember, in every town, there's that one special little delicatessen that you run into everybody. In Southeast, we call it co-backers. And remember the things that come out of your mouth during the campaign. How do you look at these people again in that aisle? They say politics is not personal. Trust me, it's very personal. We want to tell you, elected officials, we're going to pray for you, that you will be able to stand against injustice, stand strong for the well-being of our citizens that you have been elected to serve and protect. You know, Jesus said that if a house be divided, that house will fall. And if a kingdom be divided, that kingdom will also fall. And we need to learn through history that every single empire, every kingdom, every government, their one major flaw was they couldn't come in an agreement about anything, especially putting the people's needs first. They were divided, and they fell. It's been a wonderful time representing you these 37 years. And I got to tell you, putting away all the boxes of memory has been a roller coaster ride for me. One moment I'm laughing, and the next moment I am crying. But I couldn't leave at a better time in my life, because we're leaving with our heads up high, never a scandal, never a blemish on our watch. And I know that's going to continue on the next watch. Have a very, very happy New Year. Be safe, get those dinner reservations, and enjoy your evening. God bless. Refreshments, right?
Oh, yes.
Homemade, all of them?
No, that legislative staff, the two Dianes, thank you very much, and Beth and Lisa for all that you do that put this together and put the reception with light refreshments that'll be at the county office building lobby.
Before you go on, can I recognize one person?
Sure.
The loyal opposition?
At your age, you can do whatever
Okay.
you want.
Lynette Card, our Democratic chair, down in Southeast. Welcome.
For our benediction, I would like to ask Father Anthony Sorby to once again join us up here.
Judge Reese, would you like to come and join me? I very often, and I'm very well aware, and I mentioned to Mary Ellen a number of times a year, that I am very well aware that we have some wonderful clergy of all denominations and faiths in this county. And I'm so honored at times to be asked, or often, to be asked to represent them and as the praying power of this, behind this community. I echo everything I've heard, because I have the jealousy of so many of my colleagues throughout the 10 counties in the state of New York that we represent as the Archdiocese, because of our tremendous cooperation with our legislators, with our civic officials. It's tremendous. When that happens, wow, we're unstoppable. So please stand and join me in this final benediction. Lord, our God, we thank you this night for the gift of our nation, for our democracy. You alone rule the world with justice, yet you place in our hands the solemn duty of participating in shaping our government. We pray for all of those who have been elected. Please protect them and this process from all obstruction. Send us men and women of wisdom who respect your law and respect life. Send us judges with humility who seek your truth and not their own. Lord, Give all of us the courage we need to do what is right and to serve you, who are the true judge of all, with fidelity. You who are Lord forever and ever. Amen. God bless you and a happy new year, 2015.